Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and well people of the tube. Hope you're today. Hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. As you can see, I'm still in captivity. But that's okay, because I have guitars, amps, and pedals. And many basses. Anyway, today's vid, everybody, off the subject of my captivity. Today's vid, everybody, is entitled My Biggest Fear in Music. Now, I wanted to do this video because I'm sure we've all got these fears in life and in what we do. So I wanted to kind of like talk about that briefly, unfortunately, because I can no longer do the long videos that I like doing. I have to condense, hence the really short intro jam. I'm having to rejig my brain, so I'm not getting too... So I'm getting carried away in a shorter period of time, if that makes any sense. That's proving to be difficult at this point in time, but I'm sure I'll get there. Anyway, people of the tube, that's not what this video is about. The video is about fears and how important I think they are to drive you. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with fears. I think actually a really, really good thing. So this is kind of like a semi-positive negative video. It's a really kind of strange, weird thing, but I think it's really good. So, my biggest fear in music, let's just start with that, and, you know, in general, is not being the best I can be, not being good enough for you are watching. You know what I mean? Just not delivering. You know what I mean? That's my number one fear, is not playing the guitar to the best of my ability and giving everything I've got in whatever amount of time I have to do it in. That terrifies me. Like the idea of, like, you know, I've only given 80-90% of what I have to give in an intro jam or a video or whatnot, or live or recording, scares me to death. And it's my biggest fear in music, is not being the best I can be for other people listening to me play and listening to whatever music I'm playing at that time, whether it be covers, originals, or whatever, you know, playing with other people, whatever. It's really important to me to be literally firing on all cylinders all the time. And the reason I say kind of like, you know, it's a good thing that I'm scared of that is because it drives me to do so. I don't think that's a bad thing. I know some people might disagree with that idea, like, you know, the fact of, like, you know, pushing yourself again, you know, that thing can be a bad idea. I know some people in the past have expressed certain opinions, worries, concerns on this channel about the way I am to myself, and I'm quite pushy to myself, and I'm very I downplay a lot of what I do. You know what I mean? Because it's not as good as I think. I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet. You know what I mean? Music knows where it wants me to be. I just can't quite match up to it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm kind of getting better, but, like, you know what I mean? Which is always good. You always want to feel that sense of progression, but it becomes difficult. So what this fear does for me is it pushes me to be the best I can be every time I pick up the guitar. And I like that. But I do not find that detrimental to my playing or anything at all. In all fairness, I really enjoy the challenge of picking up a guitar and going, this has to mean everything. I really like that more than kind of picking up the guitar and going kind of like, well, I can kind of get away with being a bit more relaxed on it today. I don't like that, and I never have really liked that. I like the idea of really going, this has to be something. It has to be something good. You have to mean every note you play. There can't be a shadow of doubt. In fact, like, you know, you can't just go, oh, well, I suppose that was all right. And if it's just all right, you do it again. You know, so, and this is why I like the one take things as well that I do in videos. Like, the intro jams are always one take, unless something catastrophic goes wrong, because it captures that. You know, if I was to redo today's intro over and over and over again and find little runs and melodic phrases and this, that, and the other, it would take away all of its energy, because all of a sudden it's contrived, and I wouldn't be pushing myself because I'd be playing things I've already played, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, I've gone through it and I've learned things instead of actually just playing in the moment, which, again, I love a lot more than just kind of, you know, that whole idea of figuring things out. You know, I find figuring things out can be very tedious, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I really like pushing myself to the ragged edge, you will, if you will, like, you know, whether it be live in these videos for you, awesome people out there, no matter what it is, I really like doing that, and because it's such a big fear of mine to not be good enough, like, you know, to not deliver, because I never think I do. I never think I get to a point where I'm like, that's good, you know what I mean? But again, that's, to me, again, that's a good thing. Sounds a bit weird, but it terrifies me to the point where I'm like, you've got to give this everything you've got, Dave. You know, I don't like the idea of, I don't like when guitarists phone it in or they fake it, or it's just half-assed, like that kind of thing. You know, it's got to mean a lot. You know, no matter how short or long the period of time you have to play in, that you have to put everything of yourself into that piece of music. And I really strive to do that every time I pick up the guitar. And my biggest fear is not being able to deliver on that. And that utterly terrifies me, people of YouTube. Absolutely terrifies me. That, like, I can't, that wasn't good enough. Or that, you know, like, oh God, that's just not there. Invariably, if that's the case how I feel, I do things again. And I will push myself and push myself and push myself and push myself. Luckily, music knows what it wants from me. And because I'm very submissive to music, I can just turn off and it'll guide me. Which is very, very, you know, I feel absolutely, you know, so lucky with that. It feels great as well. Like today's intro jam, most intro jams come out of the blue. They get sent to me. I've had, today's chord progression actually came to me at about 10 o'clock this morning. It just went, boom, there it was. And it was a gift from music. And it goes, this is the chord progression you want to use. Funny enough, actually, the lead part, it wanted me to record the rhythm part on the Strat. And it wanted me to play the lead part on a totally different guitar. But when I recorded the rhythm track, it switched and goes, no, stick with the Strat now. So I stuck with the Strat, you know, I'm not going to argue with it. Because the guitar it wanted me to play the lead on was an Ibanez Iceman, which you will see in a video at some point, because I love the Iceman, and I'm in a place where there is one. So I'm going to bring it to you very soon, people of YouTube. And it's a wicked guitar. Anyway, but it wanted the Iceman initially, and because I've been busy all day, I don't get into the video now at kind of the evening time. It's been there all day, like, you know, Strat, then the Iceman. That's what I want. And then literally the moment I'd hit stop on the looper to finish the loop from recording, it went Strat, say Strat. So thank you, music, I love you. But yeah, but again, coming back to the thing, the reverse, and get back to the point, Dave. Tangent boys in effect. Okay, but yeah, like I say, I really think that fears are important. I mean, a lot of people kind of, I'm sure a lot of people disagree, but I really feel this is important, to have a fear of something and then push us, and to use that fear to push you. You know, it's all well and good just kind of going, oh, I don't want to do that, so you don't do it. It's so easy to walk the other way. Whereas I kind of feel now, I didn't used to. I used to be, you know, I used to be very weak to it, to be honest with you. But nowadays, I feel a bit more like, no, like I'm scared of that, so I'm going to push myself to be the best I can be. And of course, my brain's going to go, that was rubbish and that's not good enough, because that's where my brain is. It's just, it works against me on a regular basis. But that's okay as well, because that's just another challenge, you know, to fight through that and to keep going. So, like I say, my biggest fear in music is just not being good enough and not being able to deliver what music wants of me to you lot out there, you know, because I'm just a conduit for music. You know, that's what I am. You know, and it's really important for me to be an open book, if you will. So that utterly terrifies me. And like I said, I think fears are good. Because, like I say, it can drive you into situations that you're not necessarily comfortable with, but it'll push you to do certain things. You know, it's good every once in a while. I wouldn't say doing it all the time is a good idea, but I think every once in a while, stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something that you're not 100% comfy and happy with doing is a really good thing. You know, because it's so, like I say, it's so easy to look the other way. It's so easy to kind of go, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, I've been there and I've done it, and I'm sure most of us have as well at some point. We've all kind of gone, nah, I'm not going to do that. But I really do think it takes its power away, but it uses it in a more positive way than a negative way. If I was to kind of go, if I was to think too long and hard about kind of like, oh, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not good enough? I would never play the guitar again because I don't think I'm good enough, and that's okay to think that, because like what I say is I've turned it on its head where it becomes a positive, not a negative. So it's like, I'm not good enough. I need to get better. I need to practice more. I need to play more. Every time I pick up a guitar, it has to really mean something. And that, to me, is the ultimate. Practice gets you so far, messing around gets you so far. But actually, in the moment of playing, that's the ultimate. It has to mean something. I do not ever want to pick up the guitar and it not mean something. I've got, it's really sticking with me that more and more. As I kind of like, as the days tick by and the years go by, it's more and more important to me for literally every time I pick up guitar, it's got to mean something, if not everything. It really has to be important. You have to, what are you trying to say? What does music want from me that in that moment? So, that's my biggest fear, people with tubes. So, what I want is your opinion on this, people. Do you think fears are a good thing to drive you like I do, or do you think they're a negative thing? Let us know in the comment section below what you think on this subject. I'd be very, very, very interested to read your comments if YouTube Studio will let me, because that's acting the goat as well. But I'd like to know your thoughts on this what I've just been speaking about, people with YouTube, because like I said, I really like how it pushes me. I really like the drive it gives me and the kick that I need to go, right, you better be good, boy. You better do something really good, otherwise, that's not good enough. Invariably, I always walk away going, that could have been so much better. But, musicians are never, a lot of people in life, like, you're never satisfied with what you do, but you can get to a point where you at least go, well, I gave it everything I got, and at least that's something. Because if I don't feel slightly burnt out in my head after I've done an intro jam, then I just don't feel like I've given enough. Again, a lot of people would see that as a bad thing. I don't, because it means I've actually really pushed it, which is good. And even today, it's about nearly 4 minute intro jam. Every note I had to feel every note. I had to push everything through. And because I'm on a bit more of a strict time limit now, trying to condense that is even more important. I need to get it right. You know what I mean? I really need to get it right. So, it was just important to me. And again, I use that fear to drive me, and I think that's a good thing. And I think that's something that's kind of really important for musicians and people in general, even with people with anxiety issues and depression and all that kind of thing, is use those fears that you have to drive you, to push you along, and turn it from a negative into a positive. It can be done, I promise. And I think it's a really good thing to do, instead of it kind of like just being this kind of like black horrible creature like hanging over you like that. You can turn it into something positive and gorgeous and beautiful, instead of it just being this horrible thing. So people of YouTube, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I'd be very, very, very interested to see what you have to say on this subject. Because I can imagine there'll be a little bit of a varying degrees of kind of like agreement and disagreement in the comment section, and that's cool. That's what we want. We want we want a nice conversation. No, there's no use to use horrible language or anything like that. There's no point trying to belittle people. Everyone's different. Everyone sees things in a different way. I personally use the fears that I have to drive me and push me to where I want to be, instead of kind of letting it go the other way. So, people of YouTube, let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm going to have to call it a day. But thank you very much indeed for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I know the videos are a lot shorter now. I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, but I hope you enjoyed this video for what it is. And is there anybody else that does this as well? Like, is there anybody else who uses their fears to push them out there? So let me know. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and I'll see you again on Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday. I think A&Q Wednesdays are still going to be long videos, because I have so many questions to get through. I just don't think I can do it in a short video. I just don't think I can. So I think I'm going to cut down on questions. I'm going to cut down to 2 questions per video, just to keep the algorithm happy. But yeah, I think but they'll probably be a bit longer. I'm going to try and keep. I don't know. We'll see, people of YouTube, we'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid, and like I say, I hope you enjoyed, what I was on about. I hope you enjoyed the intro jam and stuff like that. And like I say, I hope, I hope to see you again on Wednesday for another for an A&Q Wednesday. So have a great morning, afternoon, good evening till then, and goodbye now. Thank you for watching. Ha ha.